Hello, hello, hello. Hey, everyone. This is Tamara T. Bush coming to you with a lesson on how to read your credit reports. I know I feel like we have to get back to basics, right? Because over the years, somehow we've gotten away from just really understanding the underlying issues and basics of credit. So, I am here to show you and teach you how you should really take the time to read and review and understand your credit reports. So I'm going to share my screen. Going to share my screen and bear with me just a moment here. All right, and I hope that you guys can see this. All right, I hope you guys can see this. Okay, so your credit summary. Now, so in the previous lessons, we talked about what is credit? We talked about how to um, dispute. We talked about how to obtain your credit report. So, with all of that in mind, once you obtain your credit reports, now it's time to read and understand your credit reports, right? So, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I just want to go through the basic elements of how to read your credit reports. So, depending on what type of bureau or what bureau you pull your credit reports from, it's going to be pretty much the same information on all three. It's just going to be formatted a little bit differently between the three credit reporting agencies. All right. So your credit summary, um, your what's on your credit report. All right. So personal identifying information, which is your protected information, right? So your name, address, date of birth, employer, social security number. Okay, any type of previous addresses that you've had, basically any identifying information that tells the bureaus and your creditors who you are. Okay, your credit history is pretty much going to be a summary of all of your account types: open credit accounts, negative accounts, judgments, liens, active trade lines, things of that sort. So if you have a car loan, a mortgage, a credit card, a personal loan, uh, sometimes the lease option to buy would report on your credit report depending on the company that you're doing business with, right? So public records, any documentation filed against you in the courthouse is considered a public record. Inquiries. So inquiries, you know, if you pull your own credit report, if you have another creditor pull your credit report, any type of promotional or marketing materials that you may receive that may be considered a soft pull. Now, you may have collection agencies that pull your credit because they're trying to skip trace. Skip tracing is when the creditors can't find you and they're trying to go through different means to figure out what other extensions of credits that you have and what other information is being reported by other companies so that they can use it to contact you. So in essence, these are all of the things that are going to appear on your credit report, right? So, it's not uncommon to have inaccurate information, right? It could be a misspelling. It could be an incorrect number on your address. There are so many different intricacies that could constitute an inaccurate item. All right, so here's a copy of a sample credit report from Experian, right? And again, for the most part, each report that you pull from the different bureaus may look a little bit different, but in essence, the information is still the same. It's pretty much going to be the same. So in this particular report, it sort of gives you a summary at the top that tells you what accounts that may be considered negative. Okay. Now, definitely pay attention to this payment history legend, because as you begin to scroll through your credit report, you're going to see different indicators and different colors attached to each trade line on your credit report that's going to give you a certain indicator, right? So you definitely want to pay attention to this, because this is sort of like a matrix that you can use to read your credit report. And this is how Experian breaks down all of their credit reports. So you definitely want to pay attention to this. And I love this section right here because it gives you an overview of what constitutes um, a negative item. Now, understand that there's a difference between negative items and inaccurate items. I definitely want you to make that differentiation when you're looking at your credit report, because every negative item is not necessarily an inaccurate item. So whoever's working on your credit, they need to be able to educate you on how to identify what's negative and what is inaccurate. An inaccurate item on your credit report could be a wrong account number or a wrong balance that's being reported, right? On the personal side, it could be a misspelling of your name or the incorrect number on your address, right? On the trade line side, it could be the fact that the account is closed, but they're still reporting it open with a balance. That's an inaccurate item, right? A negative item, a negative item is considered a 30-day late, 60-day late, 90-day late, an item that's showing as charged off. Those are negative items. So definitely get it set in your mind the difference between a negative item and an accurate item. Okay. So this section right here just sort of goes through public record. And again, a public record is going to be anything that was filed in the courthouse against your name. Okay. Um, that could be if someone sued you in small claims, if you were ever evicted from an apartment, if you were ever foreclosed on a mortgage, if you had tax lien issues, um, you know, it could be anything. Anytime that someone files any type of paperwork at the courthouse, and however that situation pans out, there's going to be some type of judgment shown on your credit report. Okay, so just become familiar with these sections. Okay, all right. Now, going into looking at the different trade lines. So on the previous page, you saw the metrics, right? So this is where I want you to pay attention to what the metrics is telling you. We'll just say it 11, because obviously I'm having a hard time saying matrix, right? Payment history legend. Okay, so what is it telling us? So if it's green, okay, current terms of agreement is met. All right, so when we look at this one, it's giving you the payment legend month by month, right? So there are some issues here. There are some issues here. In October, they had a 60-day late. September, 30 days. They were good for August, July, June, and April. March and February, they were late again. So you can sort of see what's going on here, right? Account history. So anytime that someone's working on your credit, they're going to do an interview with you, right? So you want to be able to outline for them the reasoning behind uh, the information and why it's being reported the way that it is. Because when we're working on your credit, we don't necessarily know. You have to give us insight as to why this is showing up this way, right? So is the date open? Is it accurate? First reported. You have to really go through this information with a fine-tooth comb and look and see if everything is reporting correctly. Now, back to my example. An inaccurate item could be the date open. An inaccurate item could be the credit limit or the balance, right? An inaccurate item could be the account number. A negative item is a 60-day late, a 30-day late. Okay, so definitely know the difference. That's all I'm saying. Just know the difference. Okay. Inaccuracy could also show up in the form of responsibility. This is an individual account or is it a joint account? That's something that you would need to let your credit specialist know. Or if you're working on your own credit, you would need to be able to know that if this is accurate or not. Okay. Is your status correct? You really have to look at this stuff very, 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 very closely. All right. All right, so now these are These are some additional items that are showing up on the simple credit report, right? Again, you want to make sure that these statuses are correct, right? Because, you know, the account history section of your credit report contains the bulk of the information. The section includes each of your credit accounts and details about how you've paid. Your account history will be very detailed, but it's important that you read through it to make sure the information is being reported correctly. Each account will contain several pieces of information, right? Your creditor name, your account number, type, responsibility, monthly payment, date open, reported, balance, past due, remarks. All right, there's remarks here. Now, mind you, this is just a continuation of the public record. All right, that was all actually public records. If you look down at the bottom, it says public record. Okay. All right. Yeah, they have a lot of public records. But again, this is just a sample credit report. We don't know who this person is. We don't know. All right. Now, public records include information like bankruptcies, judgments, tax liens, state and county court records, and in some states, even overdue child support. All right. Depending on the type of account, a public record can remain on your credit report for 7 to 10 years. Overly severe financial blunders appear in this section. All right, so severe financial blunders, not criminal history. Keep that in mind. So I don't know if you know this or not, but criminal history, it's not going to appear on your credit report. All right, so it's best to keep this section clear. It's best to keep this section clear. All right, credit inquiries. Credit inquiries list all parties who have accessed your credit report within the past 2 years. While your version of the credit report lists several credit inquiries, not all of these will appear on the lender's creditors' versions. Only hard inquiries are shown to lenders, right? Only hard inquiries. A soft inquiry will still show up on your credit report, but the lender is not going to see that. Anytime that you go to apply for extension of credit, the first question you want to ask is, this is going to be a hard inquiry or a soft inquiry on my credit report, right? And keep in mind that inquiries stay on your credit report for 2 years. So you want to keep that in mind when applying for extensions of credit, okay? Definitely keep that in mind. All right, keep that in mind. You know, so this is just pretty much breaking down all of the inquiries. All right, and it gives you the dates. It gives you the dates. And it's giving you all of the dates. You know, so if you see the date of inquiry, if you know that you applied for credit on September 23rd, or well, let's just say September 20th, but your credit report shows September 24th, that's an inaccurate item. Keep that in mind. All right. So, you know, it's giving you the date. So that way you can just sort of calculate when the inquiry is scheduled to fall off. Yeah, it says that these don't affect your credit score. Inquiries definitely affect your credit score. They definitely do. All right. All right. So this just gives you the limits on negative credit information reporting. All right. So just take a minute to just sort of look through this, because this is going to help you understand how credit reporting works. And these are definitely some of the more severe implications of, you know, negative and inaccurate credit items. on your credit report. All right. You know, so this is a very important guide to follow when you're working on your own credit, because it's going to teach you what to dispute and what not to dispute. You know, because obviously if you have an item on your credit report that's in good standing, you're not going to dispute that, even if you're not going to request that it be removed if the account is in good standing, because it establishes credit history, right? It establishes credit history. All right, so again, I just wanted to do a quick video. You can go back to the previous lesson and review on how to dispute. And then the lesson prior to that is how to request your credit reports. And remember, right now, due to COVID-19, you can go on to annualcreditreport.com and obtain a copy of your credit report on a weekly basis at no charge, right? So you definitely want to take advantage of that while you can, because we don't necessarily know how long this is going to last. So again, this is Tamara T. Bush with Source One Associates. I just wanted to do this quick video for you guys on how to read your credit report. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop it down in the comments below. And if you're looking for additional information, regarding credit, click on the link below. And I hope to see you guys in the next, let me just stop sharing. I hope to see you guys in the next lesson. Bye.